Germany. The German soldiers, by and large, weren't bad, but their leader, Adolf Alois Hitler, was bad. I'm sure the Russian army wasn't bad, but Stalin was bad. And, I mean, I'm sorry, a Russian soldier tries to take, what else did he say? I mean, did he say his friend was concerned about this, Joe?
He said, Alex, that it's from Texas City, Texas City to Florida, in all stadiums, local county stadiums.
Stay there, Joe. I'm going to come back to you because I want to break this down. The Fall of America and the Western World is an all-new 10-hour documentary and survival guide rolled into one. In this film, you will see the reasons why our government is failing and what you can do to prepare. Featuring Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, Joseph Farah, David Icke, Naomi Wolf, G. Edward Griffin, Doug McIntyre, Mark Crispin Miller, Mickey Z, Doug Casey, David McElvaney, and myself, Alex Jones. Protect yourself and get the tools you need to protect your family from these difficult times. The Fall of America and the Western World at www.thefallofamerica.net or click on the banners at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Again, that website's www.thefallofamerica.net or call 800-655-1577. Prepare yourself and the ones you love today. Fallofamerica.net. Hi folks, this is Alex Jones, and I want to tell you about the Silver Lungs generator. Now you can produce pure and endless colloidal silver and deliver the solution directly into the bloodstream by breathing the solution through the lungs. The respiratory system is the first line of defense for airborne pathogens and viruses. The Silver Lungs generator infuses the respiratory system with your self-produced nano-silver solutions and also delivers the silver nanoparticles instantly into the bloodstream. With continued legislation threatening the sale of nano-silver products, you can now produce pure and endless colloidal silver with the Silver Lungs generator. Very easy to follow, step-by-step instructions are provided, making production fast and simple. Go to www.silverlungs.com today and learn more about the breakthrough technology of the Silver Lungs generator. That's www.silverlungs.com. Alex Jones here with urgent information concerning TrendsResearch.com. The Trends Journal distills the voluminous ongoing research of the Trends Research Institute into a concise, readily accessible form. By tracking 300 separately defined domestic and international trends, the Trends Journal establishes the connections that others fail to see or misinterpret. Gerald Salente's Trends Journal allows you to anticipate change, recognize the implications, and take protective strategies. Individual readers from every walk of life can put the Trends Journal, Trends Forecast, and Trends Analysis to practical use. Extra information to keep you well informed throughout the year. When any current event of major social, economic, or political significance occurs, Trends Journal notifies its subscribers of their implications. When you subscribe to the Trends Journal, you'll also receive Trends Alerts. Visit TrendsResearch.com today. That's TrendsResearch.com. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. This information is too important to wait.
The Genesis Communications Radio Network proudly presents The Alex Jones Show, because there's a war on for your mind.
Okay, Joe in Texas, we're going back to him in a moment. Not yet. We're going to other calls. He called in and said that a man was installing a satellite system at their house. He'd been in Iraq 3 years. He talked to his buddy, who's in the National Guard, just rotated back from Iraq, and that they are preparing for martial law from Texas City, and they've been taking the cameras of reporters south of Houston, a PBS reporter last week, from Texas City all the way to the Keys, martial law. It's already martial law when they say it's a federal felony to videotape the police and military, and you have the general, the admiral, in charge of the Coast Guard saying that a week and a half ago. We read the quotes, we played the clips. That is martial law. They just don't tell you it's martial law. Martial law is rolling up to a checkpoint and Austin police taking blood without warrants. That's in the news today, and they say they're going to videotape while they take your blood. And that's a federal grant. Your police being under federal control is martial law. But it's a continuum. Martial law is a graph, okay? And that's that article I wrote with Ed Homan 12 years ago. Martial law is here, and it's a 3 on the Richter scale. In fact, guys, Google that article, see if we can pull it up. It's in an old InfoWars format. Martial law, and it's a 3 on the Richter scale. And I show Army checkpoint, regular Army, in Belton. And then again, years later in 2000, I went up there, and the troops came up and said, "You were here before. Get out of here." And then Marines came over and started trying to threaten us. I mean, they're training to take over, and they use PR things like, oh, bomb disposal training, oh, anti-drunk driving checkpoints, and then now, oh, we're here to fight terrorists. And so, yes, all over the country, they've got old military bases they've refurbished that they admit in the National Centers Act they will use as FEMA camps. But the main thing that they have set up, the main thing that they've deployed is battle plans in every city and even small towns to use your soccer field, your football stadium, these Walmart distribution centers. I was told that many years before I then saw mainstream articles. You know, you get intel, you don't know if it's real, but you file it. And then you see an article, Walmart says during a flu outbreak, they've done a deal with Homeland Security to use distribution centers as places for people to be held. I mean, you just do this day after day. You get a very clear, crystal clear picture. But now I don't have to have a crystal clear picture for my own intel. It's all out in the open. Now let me say this. This is so important, and please listen to me carefully. Please. Remember in January of last year, we had the interview with the emergency manager from Indiana. It came out in several newspapers there that emergency managers in Illinois and Indiana didn't know why. They were being told flu will be horrible this year. Millions will die. There will be martial law. This was in 2009. Now, this is 2+ months before, in the middle of April, the out-of-season, wrong hemisphere, wrong time of year, flu showed up. And I'm going to connect this in a moment. In the wrong time of year, wrong hemisphere, everything, this novel flu with no genealogy, with no family tree, because flu has a genetic history, just shows up out of nowhere. The media admits that this was engineered, that this was manufactured somehow. Now, let's go back. I get intel out of Indiana. Then I get intel out of California. Then I get intel out of Arizona. Then I get intel out of New York. And that was the last key piece I got when I went red level on air and started saying emergency, emergency, emergency in January and February and March and then into April. So 3 months before. You remember, every day I said, red alert, flu is coming, flu is coming. We don't know if this is going to be a real flu. We don't know if it's going to be a binary weapon or a tracker simulant, because I'd seen documents about them having an H1N1 simulant, attenuated virus that they had, quote, released to track how flu would spread. We weren't sure, but we had all these key pieces, and we knew that all over the country, police were being trained for martial law and for millions dead. I mean, they said, look for 1 million dead out of Chicago alone being buried over the border in that area of Indiana. And we had those interviews here on air with the emergency manager protecting his name. And then we had other reporters on from mainstream publications who had also confirmed the man's identity here on air, because as journalists, we can't tell you a secret source's name, but if I can have a mainstream reporter on as well to confirm that they know who their name is, they've interviewed them as well, that's a double proof for you. But then we got the key piece of intel. We got the Bureau of Cemeteries. In fact, the headline from Aaron Dykes was, because he wrote a story about it, was mass grave preparation confirmed. And you guys did a great job pulling up the martial law, and it's number 3 on the Richter scale article. I tried to pull up Aaron's headline. It was Infowars.com. I believe that one was by March. We had confirmed it, and it was mass grave plans confirmed. And because you can read with phone numbers and names, you can call them, a Bureau of Cemeteries, Department of Cemeteries plan in New York State for millions of dead. They were going to all the main cemeteries and saying, can you bury 100,000 here from flu? Can you bury 500,000 from flu here? There it is. Plans for mass graves confirmed. Government survey cemetery readiness for flu outbreak. And guys, scroll down and click on the actual documents for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers. If you're a radio listener, you can just search engine that term. Division of Cemeteries. Okay, I was calling it Bureau, going from memory. State of New York, Department of Division of Cemeteries. Okay, so that's preparing for mass flu outbreaks and mass death, okay? And then I, off-air, talked to sources in several other states confirming they'd received these letters in 2007, 8, and 9. But in 9, they told them, we are going to have this. This is going to happen. Flu will break out this year. Now, this is months before this novel flu out of left field just shows up and pops up, okay? Now, I said on air,